Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and we're turning our attention to the KNT Netball Association now to wrap up our South Australian netball coverage. Sally Bywater's on the line with me to round up a big weekend of finals. Sally, how's it going?
It's going very well, and I can't believe it. Here we are, 2 finals down, 2 to go.
2 finals down, 2 to go indeed. The season is rapidly coming to a close. And it's coming to a close in somewhat dramatic fashion. Let's go through these games from last weekend. Mundulla, the Tigers, staying undefeated, 1 win away now from the perfect season. But there must have been some nervous moments for them. They were 1 goal down to Keith at halftime before rallying with a massive second half to win it in a low-scoring affair, which is surprising considering it was an indoor game. Final score 36-26.
Yeah, absolutely. A fantastic defensive game, a high defensive game in this one with the pressure all over the court. Obviously, at half-time it was 15-16, so not many goals on that score. And considering the weather outside, we thought we might have seen a high-scoring game indoors. But obviously, Mundulla played very well in that third quarter to go up by 7. And then from there, they just stormed home. Keith made a lot of changes in the last quarter, trying to get something to work and counteract, but couldn't quite get there. But another consistent effort by Mundulla to advance through to the grand final.
Yep, a very big effort from Mundulla there. Do you reckon there would have been some nerves being down by a goal at half-time? It's uncharted territory for them this year, and that's why some people say you need to have a loss at some point just so that you know how to respond. But obviously they responded just fine anyway. But, yeah, do you think they might have been feeling the heat a little bit at half-time?
You would think so, obviously, yeah, not getting those goals on the board, and obviously defenders working overtime but not quite getting there. They did make a couple of changes just before half-time, and they came into that second half fresh legs and ready to go. So I think that made a bit of a difference. But, yeah, nerves do funny things to people in finals.
All right, excellent win from the Tigers. They're through to the grand final as we expected they would be, but it wasn't easy for them getting over the top of Keith. So they're still alive. That one obviously wasn't a knockout. They'll play again next week, and they're going to be playing against Penola, who knocked out Naracoorte last weekend in what looks like a thriller. Penola 43, Naracoorte 41. Every quarter was within 2 goals, the quarter-by-quarter margins, and in the end, Naracoorte down by 2 goals at three-quarter time. Just couldn't rally to close that gap at all in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Another fantastic game here, which we'd love to see. So only 2 goals in it. But, yeah, hotly contested game, and really struggled in the first quarter to get those goals on the board in a bit of swirly, windy conditions. But, yeah, obviously Penola going up by 2 in the first quarter, Naracoorte up by 2 in the second. So even at half-time with anything that could happen. But then Penola had that 2-goal lead in the third quarter and even last quarter, which got them over the line. But, yeah, it was really great to see Naracoorte play some great netball and make it into that top 4, and obviously, again, making lots of changes, but, yeah, not quite getting there to Penola, but a great game by them as well.
Now, Sally, I'm loving this data on Play HQ. It hasn't been available, I don't think, until the finals, but it shows the quarter-by-quarter breakdown of who was playing in which position. And I do notice that Penola, they were trusting the process, just the one interchange with Georgia Robbie and Sally Skier swapping out between centre and interchange. So they clearly trusted their lineup. No positional changes other than that throughout the match.
No, that's exactly right. They've played the consistent 7 most of the season, and obviously having the rolling subs in the league this season has been fantastic to see, and you get to watch those roll on and off during a quarter, which, you know, in the centre position, to have those fresh legs come on for 10 minutes is great to see. And, yeah, obviously Penola are really consistent and a great team effort.
And I would imagine Naracoorte would be really upset with that result. But now that they've had a few days to look back and reflect more on the season as a whole, they'd have to be pretty happy with their season from losing some close games and losing to some teams they maybe shouldn't be losing to sort of throughout the middle of the season. They really rallied over the last 6 weeks and snuck into finals and managed to win a final. So it's certainly a pass mark for them.
Absolutely, definitely. I think great effort by them, and a really young side. So if they stick together over the next, 3 to 4 years, they could be anything. So I think we'll see them up there for the next few years and even probably win a premiership in the next 5, so which is great to see for that club.
All right, the end of the road for this season, but certainly not the end of the era for Naracoorte, so we'll keep an eye on them and what they can do next season, but a brilliant season in 2024 for them. And that takes us to prelim action this weekend. It's at Lucindale tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Keith and Penola, the winner gets a shot at the undefeated Tigers in the grand final. Sally, how do you see this one going? Who do you think's going to win, and what are going to be some of the key matchups?
Yep, another fantastic game here between these two clubs. This is our second and third team this season, so they've had some great matches through the season. They met 2 weeks ago in the qualifying final, and Keith came up with the win by 3 goals, 46-43. So I'm thinking they'll be wanting that result again this week. But my matchup of the game in this one will be Mel Macon from Keith against Georgia Robbie in the centre from Penola. So they're both great workhorses, both young players, and can really feed those goalies well, plus put on the defensive pressure.
All right, that's going to be a brilliant prelim final to decide who gets a shot at the Mundulla Tigers to try and break up their perfect season. Sally, before we wrap up for this evening, I'd love to have a look around some of our other ages and divisions as well. Who else is playing in prelim finals and grand finals across the league? Is it mostly the same clubs that have qualified all the way through, or is there a bit of variation in the other age groups and divisions?
Yeah, obviously a lot of great depth. So we have a lot of Keith, Penola and Naracoorte teams, which is great to see. But the best thing is I think there's still 8 clubs that have got a side involved in finals, which we really want to see as many clubs as possible. So this weekend we obviously have Naracoorte and Keith and Penola playing quite a few games. But then we also have Bordertown in 2 games, Padaway in a game as well. So let's hope we get some wins on the board for all the teams. And in the Division 1 we have Border Districts with their only team left that have gone into a grand final. Fantastic, and Mundulla have 2 in the grand final. So let's look for some great netball. There'll be great netball all over our 7 grades, which we're really looking forward to see.
Fantastic stuff. Well done to everyone who's still alive in the season, and good luck for a big day at Lucindale tomorrow. Sally, thank you very much for all that. Enjoy the netball tomorrow, and I look forward to getting your recap of it all next Friday.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.